Hi there, Zamin for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Lawman Bass Reeves, a show currently on Netflix, 8 episodes long, depicting the life of the real life of Bass Reeves, a person in American history who was once a slave who ended up being a lawman during the Wild West period of America, the first black lawman in America. Bass Reeves is portrayed by David Oyelowo, a British actor giving an Emmy Award winning performance, in my opinion. Alongside him are legendary actors like Dennis Quaid, Donald Sutherland, Cher Wickham, all giving fantastic performances, as well as recognizable faces like Barry Pepper, who we recall from movies like Saving Private Ryan, and Garrett Hedlund, who we can all remember from Tron Legacy. Now, in the very first episode, when we see our protagonist Bass Reeves as a slave fighting alongside the Confederacy against the Union during the American Civil War, we get to see a lot of violence in that opening scene. Cannonballs are being fired, shots are blasted everywhere. There's gore, there's explosions, people's anatomy all over the place, and it gives you an indication of what we're going to be getting from the show. But don't get me wrong, not every moment of this show is full of that level of violence, but it is willing to give you that level when called upon for the right reasons, not for any reason. So when we do have the odd shootout here and there between our protagonist and a few hillbillies, it doesn't become an extreme gore fest. Only when it's called for, and that also goes with some of the language in this show as well. Now the N word does get said a fair few times, but not all the time, not for every moment. It's not in your face N word all the bloody time by white characters who happen to be racist or just only knows how to call black people the N word. So in that way, the balance of the show is done very well. When it wants to be graphic and epic, and would it be visually or verbally, it does it in the right way, and is very much appreciated. But also seeing our protagonist in Bass Reeves becoming a slave, sorry, from a slave becoming a lawman, is also a great story arc in its own right. And then the arc of him from lawman to family man as well, because once he has his job and he's able to take care of his family, you kind of realize that he becomes estranged from his own family because he's too busy getting bounties and doing the work for the government by bringing in all these bad guys, and he's becoming a bit estranged to his family because he's not always around them. He does turn other people's lives around. Like there's a character called Billy Crow who was a bit of a grifter, a bit of a con man, but he turns his life around and makes him his deputy, so to speak. There are characters who are shades of grey, like Dennis Quaid's character, who initially brings Oluwayo's Bass Reeves into the fold of a lawman, but you wonder where his loyalties kind of lie to a degree. As well as Cher Wickham being a slave owner who initially didn't come across as too bad, but you realise, you know what, he is an arsehole. And you tend to be an arsehole if you're a slave owner anyway. Now, there are a lot of stories that I felt needed to be resolved, but the main story with our main antagonist of this series does get resolved. But I do feel that there must be a second season, maybe even a third, where other issues need to be tied up because there are loose ends without a doubt once this particular season ends. So hopefully this is not a one and done. And I can understand if it is because this would probably be a very expensive show to do, considering the actors involved and the locations and the cinematography and everything else. But let's hope we do get another one of these particular series, because what we do get is great drama, great scenery, great performances, good action when it happens, good drama when it happens as well, excellent moments. I have thoroughly enjoyed this show, and some of the dilemmas our main protagonist Bass Reeves has to go through as a lawman, because some of the things he has to do, some of the people he has to bring in, he feels are not necessarily, it's not necessarily just. He feels that some of the people he has to bring in are more innocent than guilty. At the same time, some of the people he has to bring in who are guilty are probably deserve more than just a rope. They probably need to be killed on the spot. But he has a job to do to bring these people in, and he obviously wants to earn the money as well to keep his family secure. So there's all of these things in play. It's very, very good. Series like this with 8 episodes gives fantastic arcs for various types of characters, especially Bass Reeves as well, who goes through a couple of different ones. Seeing him at the beginning being this yes sir, what, I'll do anything I want. You want me to do, master? All this sort of shit. But you realize that's just a performance he's putting on for his slave owners, because he's not really like that. When he gets free from his shackles, he's able to truly be himself. And the true Bass Reeves is a fucking badass. Look at him. Look at him in that picture alongside me. He looks like a fucking badass. And that's Bass Reeves. Anyway, what am I going to give this first season? I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy it. It was very well uh, directed, and I think I've already said this before, performances and scenery and everything else. It was really done beautifully, and I very much look forward to another season of this sort of stuff. I do like a good western, and this is definitely one of them. Another thing as well, a lot of these characters, they all look like they're about to spit a big fucking dollop of tobacco out their mouth. Dennis Quaid, he's like his bottom lip. It looks like it's just, you know, blown out of proportion with maybe tobacco juice, and he looks like he's about to spit it every 5 seconds. It's just, yeah, a lot of the characters are like that, really, it's funny in the way you almost feel like some of the performances are over the top, but they're just so well performed by quality actors that they don't come across as over the top. They come across as almost genuine. You have to see it to understand it, but it's really good. It's really good. So yeah, 8 out of 10 is what I'm going to give this show. I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it, and I look forward to the next season, and hopefully there will be another season of this, and this is not a one and done. But if you've seen this show, Lawman Bass Reeves, let me know what you think. And we're on not only NerdTube is not only on Netflix, we're also not Netflix, YouTube. We're on also TikTok as well. So catch us on both of those platforms. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.